There. So today what I'm going to be doing is building a custom GPT that can help my VA, my assistant, respond to inquiries from me. I get a lot of speaking requests. I get a lot of podcast requests. We submit for a lot of things like that. I use Help a Reporter out, HARO, to submit articles and guest blog features. And I've been doing this all myself. And I've been using my own ChatGPT account, which is very well trained and knows me and knows my methodology. And of course, I have a media one pager and things like that. But what I'm going to do is create a very specific GPT that my assistant can then use to do these submissions for me. And this is going to save me a ton of time, but also her a ton of time and ensure that she stays on brand and can put forth the best pitches that I can give to any of these particular outlets. So I'm going to screen share and I'm going to walk you through me doing this live. I haven't rehearsed this. I haven't pulled anything together yet. I'm going to just show you exactly how I would do this step by step. So we are going to start, obviously, in GPT. So what I did was, and I've already done this, so I'll go back a little bit. But what I did is I went into a thread that I was already using to write some of these pitches. My assistant has been pulling these submission opportunities or flagging these emails for me to respond to myself. And I use my ChatGPT account to help write the pitches. But what I'm going to do is I said, I want to build a custom GPT that's going to help me write pitches for podcasts, speaking events, writing submissions. I told it, I want it focused fully on the business. And I'm asking it to help me create a summary of my bio, my methodology, my framework, everything that, I have already trained my account to understand, hopefully, and ask it to create a summary for me. And that's what we're going to use to train this GPT. So it's pulled this identity snapshot. So again, my account knows everything about me, what I do, AI forward brand strategy, visibility, implementation for female founders. I didn't give it any of that context. It already knows this because this is how I train AI, but I build ethical AI and marketing systems. That's all correct. My core positioning, future focused, human first, systems over hustle. AI as a tool to support clarity and execution, not replace identity, expertise, and trust. All that's true. Short bio options, founder of her agency, consultancy. Yep, that all looks right. It did a 50 to 75 word for me. It did a speaker intro. That all looks correct. And the methodology, message clarity before marketing volume. Yes. Systems that reduce friction, not out tools. Also, yes. All of this looks right to me. And then it's pulled my core framework. If you've watched anything that I do, if you've ever spoken to me, you know that I follow my personal framework, which is align, automate, appear. And that's the steps I take all of my clients through. So it's pulled that core framework for me. My expertise areas. This all looks completely accurate. Obviously, there might be some things in here I'm going to tweak, but for the most part, this looks right. So typical talking points. Yep. Brand drift is a new marketing link. Yes. There's a few things I want to add. Signature topics. Yep, it's all accurate. What makes Jenna different? I like that it put that in there. Credibility anchors. Yep, that all looks correct. Pitch builder output rules. So I might refine some of these particular. Yep. Okay. So then what it's offering me is it's saying, if you want, paste one of your past podcast pitches you liked, and I'll convert this into an even tighter system prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a media one pager, and I'm going to go ahead and give it that information. Let me find my one pager attached in my media one pager, extract any of this. So I'll give it that. It should be able to pull that PDF information. It's been very well designed. So it's possible. Let's see. Nope, it did. So you may run into sometimes, depending on how your PDF is designed, where it can't extract the text. So if so, I'd go through and I'd just copy paste it, or I think I probably have a Word version in here. But no, it's pulling it really well. It's pulling my social proof and placements, past places that I've spoken, the booking email. Okay. Um, so this looks really good. Everywhere. Yep. So it's pulling my signature talks now. I have about three that I kind of often pitch out for different audiences. So that makes total sense. Credibility and recognition. It's got that in there. All right. And then I think what I want to do is I want it to expand. So it kind of summarized based on my media one pager. So I'm going to say combine full, say, you should include the tweet too. So essentially what I'm wanting to do with that is cover kind of some edge cases, right? Like obviously I run a female focused agency, but we're not exclusionary. I do have a few male clients. And so I don't ever want to completely alienate an audience. So what I want it to do is, give me essentially all of the information so that we can craft pitches to match the audience or what that is. So it does look here. So it's quoting my media one pager a lot. So it shows where it's quoted that. Visibility has changed. I like that. Yep. And it's incorporating, I do a lot of SEO, AEO, GEO work. It's incorporating that, automation and smarter leading systems, content systems, local visibility, signature talk. Great. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this information is I'm going to take all of this. This all looks really, really great. I will obviously read through this all in detail, make sure everything's right. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my drive and I'm just going to come in here and I am going to take all of this, going to copy it all the way down. Again, I will go back and read through this. But for right now, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this all in. I think it's right for the most part. Next, I'm going to ask it to help write the system instruction. I'm going to tell it, oops, I'm sorry, I have not gone back to ChatGPT. I'm going to say this should include best practices, pitching, and let's see, what else would I want a pitch wizard like this to do? I would want it to just topic, titles, and angle. I'll reword that differently. I think I'm going to say to match, to match the request, favoring my standard, the pitch to 3. I'm going to say, what other information do you need? Boom. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm asking it, what do you not know? What else do you need me to give you? So for instance, I hope that it asks me for things like my social links, things of that nature. If it doesn't, I have a full kind of spreadsheet of all of that information that I often upload to individual ChatGPT threads, or that's in my system instructions, certainly in my custom GPTs. So I want it to pre-populate those links for me. I don't want my VA to have to go in and pull my LinkedIn profile link every time, or my YouTube link. I want it to pre-populate that information for her. So it says below is the full system instructions draft. Okay. Combined with your media page summary. After the instructions, I included additional info that would let me tailor this even tighter. So I will honestly come back to this. I'm going to come back to reading through this really detailed. What I want to see is exact. So this is interesting. So default pitch output format. So 3 subject line options, 1 personalized opener, 120 to 180 word pitch email. That feels right. 5 tailored topic titles. I might reduce that to 3. 5 feels a lot to me. So that's something I'm gonna call out. Speaking pitch. Yeah, I'm going to have it reduced to like probably no more than 3 options per pitch. I think 5 to 7 feels excessive to me. Nobody wants to read all of that. Quality checklist. This is important. So no M dashes, right? We're all tired of the M dash. Personalization included if possible. Clear relevance to the outlet's request. That's important. Hooray, agency only, no event planning concepts. My background is also in event management, so I want to take that out. What is the outlet type? Okay, so those are intake questions. So those are for my VA, essentially. Links and booking contacts. So it's got my media inquiries, website, use the link the user provides for the specific pitch. Location, Nashville, Tennessee, only if relevant. That's fair. Okay, so here, yep. So it's going to ask me those things that I said I wanted to know. So preferred primary website URL to use in pitches. So it's right. I do have a subdomain for our operating system, Meet Brainwave. I don't want that necessarily included in this. So I'm just going to go one by one. So www.heragency.com, my LinkedIn URL. That should be easy. But let me give it my personal LinkedIn versus the business page, because that tends to be more relevant for stuff like this. So there's my LinkedIn. I'm just going to say use when relevant. All right, so I'm just answering these questions kind of one by one. Here it's asking me for those personal micro anecdotes. I will go back and add those in later, since they're a little bit longer than I want to sit here and type right now and make you watch, but we'll go back to that. Boundaries on claims. So you don't have to answer all of these questions. These are suggestions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Boundaries on claims, I'm going to say okay with topics to avoid. I don't think there's any in particular that I don't want to talk about. I tend to stay away from crypto and politics, so I guess I'll say that. Crypto and politics, not what I focus on when I'm speaking. Pitch preferences, short and punchy, slightly more narrative. I feel like I tend to do slightly more narrative, but I'm going to say match the request and approved list of offers and tools to mention. So this one's important. This would be things like maybe your lead magnets or how to get on your calendar or things like that. So frankly, I think for pitching, I would probably go through that once I've been approved or they've selected me to speak or to present. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am going to go back and do is I am going to go back and give it a few more of my other socials. YouTube. So I obviously do a lot on YouTube. I do a lot of trainings on YouTube. So I want them to have that. And again, I keep kind of a master spreadsheet of like my socials, my resources, all my site links, things like that. So I'm going to give it, I've already given it LinkedIn. I'm going to give it YouTube. And then I think I would probably also give it YouTube, Facebook, should be. Okay, so that's all I'm going to give it for right now. I think that's a good starting point. So I'm going to give it all this information. All right, so it has rewritten my system instructions for me. So again, we are going to go through this all in very significant detail later, but it's pulled my official links here. This is all the stuff I want. Core methodology, that all looks good. The align, automate, appear, I like that it's got that in there. That's my signature framework. It's got my signature talks, available but not required. I like that it put that in there for me. I told it to do that. And then I'm going to change 3 to 4. I'll say always, I'm going to put this back in here. Always pitch. Okay. All right, so there we go. Going to rewrite all of that for me. So now we've kind of given it my system instructions. I would pull a few other things, like for instance, this core identity document that I made earlier. I would probably upload that. I'm going to upload my social links and some things like that. But this looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. So what I would do here is here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this screen while it's still writing those. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to create the GPT. So I'm going to go to a new chat. Explore GPTs. That's where they hide it these days. Explore GPTs, and then I'm going to do create. So here's the create. I'll help you build a new GPT. So I'm going to go over to the configure tab now while it's doing that. But what we're going to do is come back into my original system instructions, and I'm going to do copy code, this whole piece. Okay, so my VA had flagged a couple of these for me. One in particular, this how our PR professionals are using AI. This one's really interesting because actually what they're talking about is pitch drafting or personalization, which is literally the GPT we've just built. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Let's do this one. I'm just going to copy all of this and I'm going to put it into my GPT here. So I had already copy and pasted another one that I actually decided I was not going to submit for because upon closer inspection, it wanted you to be 50 and up, which I am not. So I will give it this one instead. So I'm just overwriting a previous prompt here. So I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so I'm just copy and pasting that for them. So I just want to see what it's going to do first before I even guide it at all. Like I said, it's interesting because this is literally what we're doing right now is writing PR pitches with this custom GPT. So I'm curious to see how it responds. So it's given me a subject line, how I'm using AR and PR workflow, pitch drafting with guardrails. It's exactly what we're doing here. Smarter personalization. This is a really good idea. Media monitoring and insight extraction. That's also extremely relevant. So I think this is really good. One thing I would probably do is mention to so I want to see, I've given it just a little bit of feedback there, just because this one's so relevant to what we're building here. Yeah, so it just kind of added that one for me. I think I would probably take out the pitch drafting with guardrails since that's pretty similar to what I've done here. But I'm pretty happy with this. This is a good pitch and what they're looking for. So I am going to now just literally take this over to my inbox and there, pull the auto-generated email from HARO. I'm just going to go back to this and I'm going to copy paste all of this. Look, it's already put all of my links in here for me. So I might check some of the formatting here. It's got my name, it's got my LinkedIn. I think I'd prefer, and this is something I'll go update in my system instructions, is for it to go ahead and pull my YouTube into every pitch, purely because I think that's a good way for someone to get to know me and how I speak, which is really, what these are about. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I'm going to attach my media one sheet. Put that in there. And this is ready to go, right? And this is something that my VA could have done for me. It already pre-populated all of this. These aren't made up topics. This is stuff I teach on all of the time, stuff I talk about all of the time. And what it does is it just allows for faster pitching and faster, my ability to get in front of bigger audiences. So I hope this is helpful. This is a great way to build a custom GPT that can speed up a workflow for you. And it doesn't have to water down your content. Again, it pulled my information. These are all things that I would say in real life Even its first pass at it did a good job. Even though I added a little bit more text here, I'm still really happy with the initial output. So I think this is a great way to speed up your pitching and get you in front of more audiences.